Boarding for a scenic trip around the Magic Kingdom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am yours truly, the Disney Diva, and today I am going to give you guys some tips and tricks on the best and worst times to go to Walt Disney World. So let's jump right into it. So the way I'm going to do this video for you guys today is I'm actually going to separate the video into sections by seasons because there are a lot of things happening in Walt Disney World all year round, and the weather can certainly affect your trip, and certain events and holidays can affect your trip. So I'm going to separate it into seasons and go through the months and tell you guys just exactly what is going on for each month. So to kick off today's video, I want to start with the winter season. So the winter season is going to include the months of December through February. As far as the weather goes for the winter season, basically the winter season is pretty much the same for all of the months. You're gonna have cold, crisp mornings. Sometimes it can be really cold. And then it's going to warm up a little bit into the low to high 70s. So in December, as far as festivals or events, there is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and that happens, it technically really starts the end of November, but it's going to happen all throughout December. Obviously, as far as holidays, you have Christmas, so when Christmas becomes closer and closer, the park crowds are going to increase. In January, the events that you are going to have is actually the marathon season. So the weekend that the Disney Marathon is held is normally the second or third weekend in January. And that, believe it or not, is actually more crowded than the Christmas season in January. I have done the Disney half marathon a few times, and I can certainly attest to the crowds. They are heavy. I mean, to the point where it almost feels a little overwhelming, and me and my family actually don't go this time of year anymore just because the crowds are that heavy. So January is going to be marathon time. That's going to be the second or third weekend in January. You also have New Year's in the beginning of the month, which is crazy crowded, and Martin Luther King weekend. Any holiday weekend is going to be pretty packed in Walt Disney World. Now, once you get to February is a really nice time to go. The last time I went to Walt Disney World, I did end up going in February. And they have the Festival of the Arts in February as far as festivals go. So if you want to go when the crowds are certainly not as heavy as the Christmas season and a little bit in January, I definitely suggest February. The festival is a really good festival. The only weekend you would have to watch out for is President's Day weekend. That can be a heavy time as well. So that's the winter season. You definitely do have a lot going on in December, and enough for the parks to be busy in January, and then a little bit going on with the Festival of the Arts and President's Day weekend in February. So the next season that I want to touch upon is going to be the spring season. So the spring season, the months I included were March through June. So as far as weather for March and June, unlike the winter season, the weather is very different. So for March, it's going to be actually very similar to the winter season. Very crisp mornings, and throughout the day, throughout the afternoon, it's going to reach up into the mid to high 70s. April, on the other hand, the mornings are going to warm up as well as the rest of the day. In April, Florida normally gets to the mid to high 80s. So you're definitely warming up in April. And then in May and June, you can get thunderstorms are super common, and it's going to rise to the 90s. So May and June are really where it starts getting super hot, super humid, and those tropical storms are just super common. But as far as festivals and those holidays and crowd levels, March is going to kick off the Flower and Garden Festival. Flower and Garden Festival actually covers the whole spring season. As far as holidays for March, you do have some schools that have spring break, and certainly in April you have spring break and Easter break. And as far as a holiday in May, you're going to have Memorial Day. So as far as holidays, Disney World during the spring season definitely is pretty packed. But I think that it's relatively manageable. So the next season is going to be summer. For summer, I put the end of June to August in the summer season. So as far as weather, summer in Florida is hot, it's humid, and it's rainy. Thunderstorms are super common. It is very, very hot, very, very humid. And a quick little note, hurricane season is actually June 1st through November 30th. So from June until the end of November, it is very common for it to rain and to thunder all the time. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your trip. If you are going between anywhere from June to November, bring those ponchos, not those $40 ponchos that I told you not to buy in our last video, but something to keep you dry. If you're in Walt Disney World during the summer season, especially obviously hurricane season, you're gonna get rain at least one day. But as far as any festivals, for June and July, there is really nothing going on. Obviously, the crowds are definitely heavy. I don't think they're as heavy as the winter and the spring season, but it is still summer vacation for schools, so you have to take that into account when you're planning your trip. As far as August starts Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. That is the very end of August. And the Food and Wine Festival. The Food and Wine Festival is only in Epcot though, and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is actually only select nights in the Magic Kingdom, so you also wouldn't have to worry about that. The last season is going to be the fall season. So the fall season, as far as weather, yes, you have to take hurricane season into account, but in October and November, it's pretty comfortable. I mean, yes, again, you will see some showers every now and then because it is still hurricane season, but it is pretty comfortable. So as far as festivals in the fall season, starting off with September, you're gonna have Food and Wine and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So for the fall season, September, October, and November are really going to have the same festivals, with the exception of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party towards the end of November. As far as holidays, Labor Day is really going to be the only one besides Thanksgiving, which is a big one. So now that you have all of that information, you're probably wondering, okay, but when is the best time to go? Well, it's really all up to you. If you don't mind heavy crowds and you want to celebrate Christmas and some of those bigger holidays, go during the winter season. If you want to see the beautiful flower gardens and topiaries that Disney creates for everyone each year, go during the spring season and see the Flower and Garden Festival. But March can certainly be a wonderful time to go to Walt Disney World, as well as April. It really just depends on the week that you choose. And as far as the summer, if you don't want to take your kids out of school and you don't mind the excruciating heat that you will feel, go during the summer. And lastly, if you want to check out the Food and Wine Festival or go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and kind of enjoy a less crowded Walt Disney World, go during the fall season. Personally, I would definitely say the best times to go are the end of the winter season. So that's going to be February and even the beginning of March before spring break, and the fall season before Thanksgiving. But again, that is just the times that I like to go, but I have been there during all seasons. And it depends on your preference, and it depends on when you can go and what your budget is and your job and a bunch of other components to being able to go on a Walt Disney World vacation. So if you get to go on a Walt Disney World vacation, have a wonderful, magical time no matter when you go. Make the most of it. You know, no matter when you go, you have to remember you are in the most magical place on earth, and it is really up to you to make the most out of your vacation no matter when you go. So that's going to do it for today. I hope that you guys will use this information as always on your future Disney vacations. You guys choose when you want to go. You guys make the most out of your Disney vacations and make the best memories. So until next time, guys, I am yours truly, the Disney Diva, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!